right, now this is for parents whose child has a learning disability. So they already have an IEP, they have a learning disability, and we are just feeling like they're not making enough progress, okay? Like let's just say, they're reaching 5th, 6th grade, and they're still really, really behind academically. There's a huge problem, just like FYI, there's a huge problem across the country, especially in southern states, where there is no in-between for students who are, they're just hardly squeaking by. Like they're getting behind, they stay behind, and even like the moment that they start to feel like they're getting the content, the pacing is just too quick, so the teacher moves on. And then when this happens year after year, the confidence of the child lessens and lessens, right? Like at my last school that I was teaching at, I got that my highest grade level was grade 5, and by then the beginning of the year was all confidence building, all getting them comfortable with where they're not feeling strong in, like the subject areas that they're not feeling strong in, identifying like, okay, like, they have to get it out. They have to express themselves. Like, I hate not raising my hand. I hate when a teacher calls on me and I don't know the answer. And even though they've explained it, several times, I still don't know the answer. And luckily, I was that way as a student for a lot of my life. I remember, like, oh my gosh, long division. I could not grasp the concept of long division for so long. And it actually was not until I graduated college and was in my first job teaching, and I had middle schoolers, and we were learning the long division, and I was like, buckle up, let's learn it together. And it wasn't until I had to teach it where I learned it, and I could properly break it down and model it over and over and over and over and over and again for my students. And for these students, they need so much repetition without any pressure. They need modeling. This is like in my methodology, this is where like I've already built a rapport. We are already like getting them back into their classes. We're getting them exposed to their grade level work. And now it's the scaffold and model. You have to model these things without the pressure of them having to regurgitate anything back to you so many times. So if you're at home and homework is like absolutely sucking and they don't remember, and that was a thing for me, my mom would be like, well, you were at school, like, what, you were there, why don't you remember? And I didn't understand what the heck was going on. So I was not retaining anything. So when it came time for homework, I was like, well, beats me. And then you look like a bad kid, or you look like you weren't paying attention, when really you were probably using so much of your energy to try to pay attention. And also, you're using your energy to fit in. You're using your energy to not stand out. You're using your energy to psychically try to relay to your teacher to not freaking call on you because you might not know the answer. So by the time they get home, they're exhausted. And this is just not even just with like having learning disabilities, but a lot of students in general, by the time they get home, they are absolutely wiped from having to perform all day long. So when I would get my kids as a special ed teacher, that was the first thing that we tackled, was like, let's get really comfortable with the uncomfortable. Like, let's not be afraid of this anymore. Like, you don't have anything to be ashamed of. You don't have, so what? So you're not good at long division. Whatever. So you're really behind in reading. Yep, that sucks. But let's see what we can do, and like, let's take that pressure off of you. Because we don't even realize it. Like, our language as teachers, as parents, sometimes we use really high pressure language and we overdo it to the point of just paralyzing them. We use it so often without thinking about it, and we assume that they don't take it seriously. So we kind of like, it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, for a 9-year-old, you keep telling them, you have to take this seriously. You have to take this seriously. You have to take this seriously. And then what ends up happening is that they don't take it seriously because they think they are taking it seriously for a while, and they still don't freaking understand. So then what? Like what? And then they don't even have the the language or the perspective or the wisdom to understand that. So then they just feel bad. They just feel like, well, crap, yeah, whatever. And then they stop taking it seriously. And that's typically where I love to get the kids, because I love reigniting that passion for learning, reminding them that, you know, what's actually most natural is to love and enjoy learning. Learning is fun. And when it stops becoming fun, or when it stops being fun, I personally believe that it's up to the educator to make it fun again. Not everybody believes that, but I do. I believe that. I think that's very, very important. And so if you are a parent, and if this sounds familiar, this sounds like your child, I would even encourage listening to this video with your child, because by the time they got into the 5th grade, we were talking about it. We were talking, okay, so you have an IEP. Do you know what an IEP is? Let's talk about what it is. Let's take out all of the scary around it, because it's even scary for adults. It's scary for the parents. So you can imagine for the child, they know you talk about them. They know that you go to these meetings. They know that the meetings are all about you, but they don't know what is going on or what that all entails. And I can tell you by the 5th grade, I think it is an appropriate time. I think it's a solid time, when done right, to just take all of that fear out of it and just empower them to own their education, be a part of the decision making, to be a part of the goal writing. I think that is that's actually the last step of my RISE methodology, is the E, is to empower, to advocate. They get to take ownership over their learning. They get to this is their life. They are the main character. We are all working for them. We are all trying to support them to learn the best way that they can learn, period. Anyway, it's the best. It's my favorite thing in the world. So if they are watching this right now, don't be scared. You got this. It's just life. Life is life. It just is. And whatever goals that you're going to set for yourself, you can do them. Set reasonable goals for yourself. Be honest. If you don't know, you don't know. That's a very huge thing. If a teacher is asking you a question and you don't know, it's okay to not know. Don't waste your time. They get to explain it a different way. Tell them, I would always tell my kids, make me work for my money. Ask me, I'll do it again. I'll figure out another way to present this to you. If you're not getting it, if I've modeled it one way, like 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and we're still like, I don't know. Maybe we have to go take a step back and look at, okay, well, what am I lacking here? But that's the teacher's job. It's not your job to pretend like you know something that you don't know. Does that make sense? Let's go. Good job, everyone.